Hello, I'm Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy. And we are all set to take on Silph Company. But first, let me show my team arrangements. I want to arrange my party so for ease of access sake, Kabuto's going to be at the top of the list. And I'm going to show off that I'm going to hold on to the bike and Pokeballs, but we want to make room for us to potentially hold on to 18 items at the end. So, these 6 items between Pokeball and Super Repel, those are all items that we will be running into in Silph Company. So, without further ado, let's get started. There are 32 trainers for us to take on in this building, and 18 items for us to pick up, including 2 that are invisible. Blue's already at quite the head start, but I digress. So I'm just gonna go Blizzard across the board, and Blue's gonna remain ahead of Red for pretty much the entire run. Now, what's interesting is that while Blue keeps swapped out Blizzard spamming for Surf spamming, Red holds on to those Blizzard spells, and that sort of gives Red a means of slipping by Blue just barely, even with the critical hit. And the reason for this is because Surf's animation is way longer than Blizzard's. However, so why didn't I use spam Blizzard on all these spells? Because I want to save those Blizzards and Blue versions for opponents that I feel will need them most. Red is basically, rather than just spamming 5 Blizzards on one trainer, thus leaving me stuck with Surf all the way up until I heal up, I want to be able to save those time saves. It's better to be more strategic with how I go about using my attacks. So that way my Kabuto doesn't get completely demolished. Tough. So I will primarily be giving experience points to Dragonair and Kabuto. However, this is the only battle where all the experience will go to Charmeleon. And the reason for this is because there are 7 Voltorbs and Electrodes in Silph Company, and this is the only trainer that doesn't begin or end with a Voltorb or Electrode. Because this Voltorb is just smack dab in the middle of the battle, it's better to just dig, self-destruct, to keep my PP costs down than it is to try to... And oh yeah, I have to do manip critical hits here to ensure the one-shot. Otherwise, I will not be swapping into I will be swapping into Charmeleon from now on. Charmeleon will not be taking the lead. So, how am I going to market the remaining 6 Voltorbs and Electrodes? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. First, let's take on this guy. So, you can see now that Red is very clearly ahead of Blue on every front. But all that's gonna change, and how it's gonna change is may actually surprise you. Red Dragonair finally leveled up. And Red's gonna end up a critical hit Bison, while Blue is gonna go for Horn Drill. And oh yeah, the body slam without the quick attack too. So, Kabuto will be leading the charge again, because with Kabuto I will primarily use him against trainers that sport ground types like Cubone or Sandshrew. There aren't a lot of those trainers here, but the ones that are there, I will definitely... It's basically free XP. But wait a minute, where will Wartortle gain his experience points? He still needs to evolve into Blastoise. Well, that Magikarp. Well, I plan Magikarp out ahead, but I'll tell you this much. The Voltorb, the use of the Voltorbs and Electrodes, they're not going to be how I get Magikarp into Gyarados. Granted, if I were to use the first scientist with the Voltorb into my equation, I probably would have been able to evolve Magikarp into Gyarados with relative ease. But it turns out I don't really need them. Now blue is ahead of red. That was shock. And blue is going to remain ahead of red pretty much for the rest of this playthrough. Nipping Horn Drill here. The reason why I'm nipping Horn Drills on the Hypnos is because Hypno is way too bulky for Dragonair to deal with. So, yeah. Hidden Elixir, there's 2 hidden items for us to pick up. And I'm actually gonna use Kabuto for this battle. Even though this is gonna be pretty dangerous for Kabuto because of this Magneton. But I need just the right amount of experience for Kabuto to evolve into Kabutops by the end of the Silph Company. And this battle gives us just enough EXP without overdoing it. Are there better trainers that will give me close to the same amount of experience points as this one? Yeah. But hey, I'm in that Blizzard Freeze in blue version, so blue's just gonna keep moving ahead. And after seeing how poorly red did against the Squeezing, I'm in the critical hit in blue version. Oh yeah, I've been at the critical hit in red as well, I guess. And of course I'm in the another critical hit on Magnemite. Yes, Kabuto can't even one-shot a Magnemite. That's kind of pathetic. So Dragonair goes to the front of the party. And you can tell that blue is noticeably ahead of red now. And red manips a critical hit by Sam, blue manips a Horn Drill. Reminder that even with higher speed stats than the opponent, Horn Drill is still only a 30% accuracy. And oh yeah, this is where the path between red and blue version completely differs. Blue's already facing the 9th floor scientist. And this is what I'm gonna do to make use of most of these Voltorb trainers. And that's what it's training. In hindsight, I probably should have faced the scientist on the 6th floor first. Got Magikarp some EXP there, and then went down here and got the XP off of this scientist. I don't know. It would have meant that I only needed to talk to the nurse, the 9th floor nurse twice instead of 3 times. But whatever. So blue, instead of going up, I still need the key card, so blue is gonna pick that up first. And blue is gonna go take on a completely different route from red. He will be going up here. And I'm moving Dragonite to the Dragonair to the front of the party. And it looks like red and blue are side by side, but nope, they're going different directions. Red's gonna open up access to the nurse first things first, while blue is gonna take on the trainers surrounding this floor first. Again, I probably should have done the 8th floor first, but whatever. I should have taken on the scientists on the 6th floor first, then did the 9th floor scientists, and then work my way down. Now, it should be noted that my initial plan was just to teach Wartortle Earthquake, because I knew that Charizard and Blastoise learned Earthquake, so I figured their evolved forms ought to be able to as well. Nope. Now, given how weak this trainer's Pokemon are, you would think it would be ideal to pair him up with Kabuto instead, but I'm not going to do that. So, red is just going to return to his own trajectory, whereas blue goes non-linear. So, blue is busy taking on the rock on the top floor, and red is just gonna make the slow climb up to the top, and then take on Rival 6 and Giovanni 2. I remember, oh yeah, I still have to face the juggler on this floor. There's nothing in this room, I just needed to open up all the doors in Silph Company. Kabuto's moving to the top of the party. And interesting enough, this spell is typically reserved for after you had just got a fresh heal from the 9th floor nurse. I'm skipping Dragon Rage because Kabuto does not need to know Dragon Rage. Otherwise, just a couple body slams should sufficiently one-shot everything. And I did some calculations. Ice Beam is faster than Thunderbolt. Electric type attacks are just slow. And so is Surf, for that matter. So I open up the door, and I'm actually going to use the teleport down here. This will allow me to send me all the way down to the 4th floor, so I could take on the remaining trainers. That's right outside where these 3 items would be located. This spares me the tedium of having to return to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors proper. Yes, I put a ton of effort mapping out EXP gains for my Pokemon, as well as the location I want to go to. And the 6th floor teleporter on the top right corner actually led me to the room with the 2nd scientist and the TM for self-destruct. This is to spare me from having to return to the 2nd floor and do the same thing. There is still the 3rd floor, but that leads straight to the very end of the dungeon. So we're gonna worry about that until the very end. So 10th floor to the 4th floor, and 2nd and 6th floor to the 2nd floor. And then the 5th to the 9th to the to the 3rd floor, basically. Most of these teleporters, generally speaking, is just there to befuddle you. All you need to know is get the car key and then kick this dungeon's ass. So, yeah, I actually took advantage of that trainer's second Pokemon Electrode using self-destruct, so Kabuto would gain all the experience points here. So, I forced both Magikarp and Mew to faint as a result of Blue version's actions. So now I'm going to have to heal at the 9th floor Nurse. The red version's still on the 6th floor. Having cleared out the 2nd floor already, whereas blue had cleared out the 4th floor. And Dragonair's gonna use its last horn drill on this rocket's Hypno. And I need to put Magikarp in the front of my party this time in red version. This is one of only 2 battles that I'm going to give the experience to Magikarp instead of Kabuto. And this is to get Magikarp ready for evolution. That was an error on my part. I swapped Magikarp out for a Mew. Boom, self-destruct. So if you're wondering why I kept saying, well, I probably should have just battled the 6th floor scientist, now you know why I kept saying that. So it turns out that Dragonair is strong enough to one-shot pretty much all of this rocket's Pokemon with just Body Slam. And Dragonair's on the 8th floor. Believe it or not, the 8th floor also leads to the 2nd floor. But the teleporters here pretty much lead me to locations that are out of the way. The 8th floor is fundamentally useless. Apart from the 1st floor, it is the only one of the 11 floors of Silph Company that does not have any items. And the teleporters don't really lead you anywhere, and will just send you all over the place. So red clear out the 6th floor and is moving on to the 7th floor. And the 7th floor similarly doesn't really lead to any unique places. I suppose if you never got the car key, it could lead you to some items and treasures that you wouldn't think to get. But the teleport up top literally leads into the room I just unlocked, and there's nothing in that room. So, the big reason why Kabuto's losing time over red is losing time over blue is because Kabuto's using Surf instead of Blizzard. Now, look, because this is the 8th floor scientist, I'm gonna no, 4th floor scientist, I'm gonna swap out Kabuto for Magikarp. This will allow Kabuto to gain all the experience completely free. So the scientists on the 6th floor and one of the 2 scientists either on the 3rd or 7th floors will be the other one that Magikarp will gain experience off of. Kabuto does not need experience from all the Voltars and Electrodes. He'll be fine. So Blue's completely exhausted resources a bit, so... Now Blue's gonna, after clearing out the 8th floor, is heading back down to the 5th floor. Meanwhile, Red's climbing up onto the 7th floor, and it's really due to timing than anything that the 7th floor scientist doesn't get used for Magikarp instead. Instead, I give the experience to Kabuto, the Electrode experience to Kabuto. Self-destruct. I'm manipulating the self-destructs to ensure that they one-shot my Pokemon. And Blue is continuing from where he left off. And this is all the result of Blue's non-linear progression through the tower. Whereas Red's progression is mostly... By the way, this is a very tricky RNGC to manip, so... That's the reason why I'm not manipulating the one-shot in Red version. I'm not going to manip the one-shot in Blue version either, because that's very tricky to land. Especially in Blue version when you have to deal with level-ups. So Red's going to talk to this guy. And now that Blue's on the 6th floor, he's gotta take on this trainer's Machop and Machoke. By the way, I don't need to use Wartortle on this Machoke. Ice Beam should be able to one-shot. By slamming the Arbok, which is a successful one-shot. And now Blue's heading down to the 2nd floor. He's gonna take on the scientist here. Believe it or not, I originally had Kabuto facing the scientist. But then I decided to swap it out for the scientist on the 5th floor. So I'm manipulating, and as such I'll be manipulating the horn drills on Weezings. Both Weezings and the Coughing. Might as well. Red's feeling pretty exhausted, so I gotta skip the 8th floor trainers for now. And now I'll be ready to take them on. Now Magikarp and Red's Magikarp only really needs experience from one more scientist. So Blue's clearing out the 2nd floor, picking up the TM for self-destruct. Unfortunately, none of my Pokemon can learn self-destruct, so I gotta skip that. And Blue is basically following Red's footsteps now. So it looks like Red's ahead, but remember, Blue already cleared out the 10th and 11th floor trainers, as well as the 8th floor trainers. So really the only floor whose trainers I've yet to touch would be the 9th floor. Not enough grit. Yeah, that sucks. So I'm gonna battle this trainer. I believe this is the last of the Rocket Brothers. In Red version anyways. I think the Rocket Brothers are supposed to be super powerful rockets compared to the rest of their kin. And they really aren't. They just have mostly evolved Pokemon, maybe 1 or 2 of them having slightly higher levels. But I would not be surprised if the Rocket Brothers are like a prototype of sorts for the Rocket executives of Gold, Silver, and their remakes. So, Blue is gonna get its first... Blue's Magikarp's gonna see its first set of free experience points there. Sorry about that. Self-destruct. So Red's facing the, I think he's facing the 8th floor scientist, while Blue's facing the 6th floor scientist. And Charmeleon is more than strong enough to one-shot everything here. So now I have to heal up in red and blue versions. So Red swapping Dragonair back to the front of the party. And Blue's gonna swap Kabuto to the front. As we make our way up to the 7th floor. And I'm actually gonna battle the trainer down here first in blue version. As you can see, the Ice Beam didn't do a ton of damage against the Machoke. Probably should have done Body Slam instead after bringing it down that low, but Red's almost done battling, so I don't think I needed to worry about being super stingy with the experience points. So, other than just heading straight to the 5th floor and then tackling every floor one at a time after that, I'm not sure which one's the fastest road to the top, but I digress. So, yep, Dragonair is gonna take on the last of these rockets. There's technically 5 more trainers left. Red, technically, no wait, that's not true. I still need to take out the 2 trainers I left behind on the 4th floor and clear out its treasures. So after this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Let's see. Red still has the scientist on the 10th floor, the rocket and scientist on the 4th floor, the rocket on the 9th floor, the scientist on the 3rd floor, rival 6, the final rocket, and Giovanni. So 8 more battles for Red. Blue's very close to done as well. So more free experience for Kabuto, which gets him to level 39. And this is what I'm talking about when saying the RNG manipping for the mug is extremely tricky because of the fact that I was just blitzing through this. So after this battle, rival Blue will only have 1, 2, 3. But only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battles to go. Wow! Already that close to done for blue version? Yep. But to be fair, now Red only has 7 battles to go. And one of them's just the lone the scientist with the lone electrode. So Blue doesn't really care to use any of its moves since Body Slam will one-shot absolutely everything now. So that's why I kept spamming Body Slam instead of swapping over to Ice Beam or something like that. So Blue is basically battling to try to clear out trainers as quickly as possible. Whereas Red, I'm trying to save up on time by not RNG manipulating so much. I don't know. So this is the final eel, and I forgot the max potion on the bed. Looking back, I can confirm that yes, I got the max potion in red version. So yep, Manip the one shot on the 4th floor. And Blue's already taking on the second to last rocket. Replacing Scratch with Slash because that makes the most sense. And I'm manipulating critical hit slashes every turn because that's literally the fastest route. So Red has cleared out all the other trainers, and now we're gonna be making a path to Giovanni. From the 9th floor, no less. And I put Magikarp to the front of my party for this final scientist. First, I'm gonna pick up this Hyper Potion, which is a little out of the way. So yeah, Blue is a full battle ahead of Red at this moment. Imagine that. So, Magikarp in the front, Manip self-destruct, and Magikarp should hit level 16 after this. So I'll have enough experience points to evolve Magikarp at the power plant. And Charmeleon here will battle this trainer's Wheezing. And once again, I'm not really interested in getting the critical hit because I know I'm so far ahead of Red version at this point. And Blue's gonna evolve. And Blue's Charmeleon's gonna evolve, and so should Red's, now I think about it. I'll be sure to read all the Pokédex entries by the end of the episode, but let's just say there will be 5 captures in this episode. Bingo! The car key opened the door. And I took the extra step up on this floor. Hahaha, I thought you'd turn up if I waited here. Guess Team Rocket slowed you down, not that I care. Saw you in Saffron, so I decided to see if you got better. So I took the extra step up so Rival 6 doesn't have to walk over and around me. NPCs in Gen 1 move super slow. So, my strategy is Ice Beam the first 2 Pokemon, Thunderbolt the 3rd, Body Slam the 4th, and Horn Drill the 5th. Don't really need to do anything super complicated with that, as Dragonair should be able to one-shot the first 4 Pokemon easily. The only way to one-shot the Charizard with Dragonair is either with a Horn Drill for the OTK or a critical hit, Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. What kept you, Red? Alright, I'm gonna read Blue's text. Oh ho, so you are ready for Boss Rocket. Well, John, I'm moving on up and ahead. By checking my Pokedex, I'm starting to see what's strong and how they evolve. I'm going to the Pokemon League to boot out the Elite Four. I'll become the world's most powerful trainer. John, well, good luck to you. Don't sweat it. Smell ya. I'm gonna talk to this guy, and he will give us our next Pokemon, which is Lapras. This is the only way to get Lapras in the Gen 1 game, so it's good to get that one off our chest. I'll probably do more splurging with the world of Pokemon when I play through the solo runs. Otherwise, trying to read every text of dialogue is just going to be super tedious. So yeah, see, Red's Dragonair couldn't one-shot, but Blue did because I used Horn Drill. Now Blue is just gonna use Surf on the Cubone and Marowak and Slash on the Drowsy, because I don't need to worry about trying to remain ahead of Red anymore. I'm already well ahead. And just like that, I got just enough experience points to evolve Kabuto into Kabutops. Now, I'm not quite sure how much experience points I had gotten specifically for Charmeleon or Wartortle, or how best to optimize them in my run, so they have just enough experience to evolve so that nothing's wasted. Ah, John, so we meet again. The President and I are discussing a vile business proposition. Keep your nose out of grown-up matters, or experience a world of pain. So, as I don't know. Giovanni wants to fight. And the strategy for this spell is real simple. Just use Horn Drill. Blue has just enough Horn Drills to go around and one-shot everything, so there's no excuse. So yeah, Horn Drill is faster than using Ice Beam or Body Slam, and I'm guaranteed to one-shot everything here. So I got lost again? Blast it all, you ruined our plans for Silph. But Team Rocket will never fall. John, never forget that all Pokemon exist for Team Rocket. I must go, but I shall return. So, my item bag is completely full at this point, so I gotta deposit some stuff. I no longer have any use for the car keys, and I don't need the elixir. Car keys, I'm going to just deposit those. 236. I'm just gonna scroll through this quickly. I'm not moving super fast or efficiently in Blue version because I'm so far ahead that I need Red to catch up. So I'm depositing the car key, elixir, and all the TMs I accumulated. I can't teach Wartortle Earthquake. Yeah, Blastoise can learn Earthquake, Charizard can learn Earthquake, but can Charmeleon or... Actually, no, Charizard can't. Man, these Pokemon sucked in this game. So I'm gonna search for the revives and full restores in the Blue version Pokemon Center. And I'm gonna gonna make some moves in my party. I no longer need Kabutops or Charizard. So I'm gonna move. Box 7 is where Poliwhirl. I need to pick out one of the 2 Poliwhirls. And box 1 because I want to add a weak-ass Pokemon into my party. I think this Paris will do just fine. And now I can change boxes to box 9. So let's make our way to the big boss. Thank you for saving Silph. I will never forget you saved us in our moment of peril. I have to thank you in some way. Because I am rich, I can give you anything. Here, maybe this will do. The Master Ball, the ultimate Pokeball. You can't buy that anywhere. It's our secret prototype Master Ball. It will catch any Pokemon without fail. Should be quite about using it though. So I'm talking to this guy, even though I don't need to, just to give Red a chance to catch up. Because I don't have a digger and I need to hold on to my escape ropes. I'm just gonna make my way out of Silph Co. Yep, both games are just gonna use Paris as their little punching bag. And you'll know why I just need a weak-ass Pokemon, I don't need Paris specifically. And I'm gonna make my way to the Celadon department store. Now Red's also got the Master Ball, but he doesn't have to speak to the big boss here. So Blue is no longer super far ahead of Red, and I'm still gonna be taking my sweet ass time, Blue. Just to give Red a chance to catch up. I need to sell all my vitamins. In hindsight, this probably isn't the fastest method. I probably could have just held on to those vitamins until I had gotten everything I needed. Yeah, I was making sure I had everything. And I bought this Pokedoll. That's the main reason why I came to Celadon City in the first place. If all I needed to do was sell the violence, I would have just gone and done that. But I'm going to use teleport here, so I return to Saffron City. And I need to heal up. So Blue still needs to be ahead of Red by just a bit because I need to be able to give myself enough time to read the Pokedex. So I went to this house, which is now open to us now that Team Rocket's gone. Hi, do you like Pokemon? No. You're strange. Quit mimicking, but that's our favorite hobby. Oh wow, Pokedoll. That's why I bought the Pokedoll, so I could give it to Copycat here for TM31, which is Mimic. My secrets: skill, mimicry, hobby, collecting dolls, favorite Pokemon, Clefairy. So, and there's a hidden nugget right on Copycat's table for us to pick up. And the reason why I examined that PC, I honestly thought it was a real PC that I could deposit items in. Saffron City, shining golden land of commerce. Saffron City, Pokemon Gym leader Sabrina, the master of psychic Pokemon. Yo, champion making. Sabrina's Pokemon use psychic power instead of force. Fine Pokemon are weak against psychic Pokemon. They get creamed before they can even aim a punch. Now I'm gonna battle most of the psychics here first, and then the channelers. And this is to cut down on the number of times that I swap out my Pokemon. So red is now on blue's heels at this point. Now with this psychic, it's simple. Just use Thunderbolt on the two Slowpokes, and then Horn Drill on the Slowbro. Slowbro is bulky as all hell, and I mean bulky. The only way to realistically one-shot a Slowbro, a level 33 Slowbro, even with a 48 Dragonair, is with Horn Drill. There's just way too much special and way too much defense for any of my moves to be effective. So I'm using this support to take on the Psychic in the top right corner. And this trainer I mostly just need to use Body Slam. Except for this one, I'm gonna use Thunderbolt. I tried using Body Slam on even the 31 Slowpoke, while be able to just barely survive a Body Slam from a level 49 Dragonair. Keep that in mind, my Dragonair is level 49. And outside super effective Thunderbolts can't one-shot a Slowpoke that's nearly 20 levels under. That's ridiculous. Dragonair's attacks DVs are nearly maxed out. Actually, they are maxed out. And then I took that teleport to reach the middle right Psychic. The last one, I'm going to save the top left for last because that's the one guarding Sabrina's. That's guarding Sabrina. But a couple Body Slams should take care of these two Psychics. Now, I want to take on the... Preferably, I want to take on the Channeler in the bottom left corner first, but that's not really an ideal option right now, so I got settled for the top Channeler instead. I want to take on the Channeler on the left rim last, because that one is the scariest one of the bunch, and this is how we're going to evolve Wartortle into Blastoise. Those three Channelers, when taking into account the boosted EXP I get from these battles, because we'll give Wartortle just enough experience points to level up into Blastoise. And that's just enough experience if I was to just rate it based solely off the lowest possible value of experience points rather than the highest value. And that was why I was testing the lowest possible value, and I was doing multiple mathematical equations and got multiple answers. The lowest value was what gave me the confidence to go, okay, this is how I'm going to evolve Charmeleon, this is how I'm going to evolve Wartortle. Even if I gain a couple hundred extra experience points on that I don't need, that's just garbage, that's fine. However, this gym was my original plan was to teach Wartortle Earthquake, and even though Blastoise can learn Earthquake, Wartortle can't. And actually, Charizard can't learn Earthquake either. And ain't that the darndest thing? The kind of moves that a lot of these Pokemon can learn in Gen 1 is just ridiculous. So because I can't reliably critical hit all the time, what I can do in red and blue versions are, at the very least, successful hits where I'm basically just taking non-paralyzing licks, or hypnosis misses, or later on Dream Eater misses. Actually, I think he even took a Confuse Ray miss. But those Haunters, without critical hits, are basically impossible to two-shots. And you only need one critical hit each. So, I saved the center channeler for last because even though this channel has only one Pokemon, it's a level 38 Haunter. See, and this is probably gonna be a two-shot unless I'm really lucky. Got a Dream Eater miss because I wasn't asleep. And then a Hypnosis miss, which should be, with a high damage value, was enough to two-shot this Haunter with Surf. And Wartortle hit level 36, just like that. Ooh. So, with that said, we've evolved. The only Pokemon we have left to evolve are Dragonair and Magikarp. And side note, the reason why Magikarp's level 15 instead of level 5 is to get him to Gyarados with as few, is to expend as few experience points as possible into Magikarp. And I'm not going to be using Daycare to do this. Dragonite and Gyarados are the last level up evolutions we need to get in both games. And I manette the Horndrill on this Slowbro because I'm not strong enough to beat it otherwise. Now we are ready to take on Sabrina. I have vision of your arrival. I have had psychic power since I was a child. First learned to bend spoons with my mind. I dislike fighting, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. So, learning my lesson from Red version. Well, with Dragonair, I just need to body slam the Kadabra, but from now on, the only Pokemon I could maybe one-shot is Venomoth. At least without a critical hit, so I'm just gonna go Horndrill across the board. One hit KO here. I have 3 Horndrills, that's just enough to evolve to get through this battle. Now, if you do want to ensure Horndrills hit 100% of the time, use an X accuracy. You can buy them in bulk at the Celadon department store. But because I'm playing on emulator, I don't need to worry about that. I'm shocked. But loss is a loss. I admit I didn't work hard enough to win. You're in the Marsh Badge. The Marsh Badge makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Stronger Pokemon will become wild, ignoring your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much. Wait, please take this TM with you. TM46, which is Psywave, it uses powerful psychic waves to inflict damage, sometimes 0. Everyone has psychic power, people just don't realize it. Unfortunately, Psywave sucks as it can deal either from like 130 base power to literally 0 hit points, depending on various RNG variables. Psychic power, huh? If I had that, I'd make a bundle of the slots. Nope. Now, I'm gonna fly to Cerulean City. This is my final task. I'm gonna heal up at this Pokemon Center. Not that I need to use the Pokemon. Well, actually, I could maybe use it. And blue is going to deposit the items I just picked up, which is TM31 Mimic, and that's it. And I'm going to sell the rest, sell the Nugget, the TM4 Sidewave, as well as the Nugget. But before I do that, I'm going to trade the Poliwhirl, the spare Poliwhirl I have for Jynx. Finally get to trade for this super elusive Pokemon. You can only catch a Jynx via trade in the Gen 1 games. Unless you have Japanese Blue, in which case you can catch that in Seafoam, one in the Seafoam Islands. But here in the West, the only way to catch a Jynx in the Gen 1 games is through an in-game trade. And worth noting, was something interesting about Generation 1 compared to other generations. First of all, are the number of Pokemon that are locked behind in-game trades. There's like 4 of them in Red and Blue alone. Yeah, in future generations, they've largely done away with this little benefit. As I also said before, I'm going to sell off the Nugget and the TM for Sidewave because Sidewave sucks. But it's worth a ton of gil. And while Red works to catch up to Blue, I'm going to hurry up to the end of the place. Next time we will be taking on the power plant. And since we have time, let's look at the Pokedex entries for our new evolutions. Spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders. Known to cause forest fires unintentionally. And next up is Blastoise. A brutal Pokemon with pressurized water jets on its shell. They are used for high-speed tackles. Interesting, and let's try to scroll through these carefully. The remaining 3 Pokemon are Jynx, Lapras, and Kabutops. There's Jynx. It seductively wiggles its hips as it walks. It can cause people to dance in unison with it. And next up is Lapras. Pokemon that has been overhunted almost to extinction. It can ferry people across the water. And last but not least, Kabutops. Its sleek shape is perfect for swimming. It slashes prey with its claws and drains the body fluids. And that's it. All we have to do now is wait for Blue to catch up. Red to catch up. So, I believe that is it for today. And next time we will take on the power plant. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, this is Mike Gorin sign out.